right? So what are they doing? They're trying to solve a problem for the general public, right? So if you take example of Swiggy, so what are you able to do with Swiggy? We are able to place order, and sitting at your convenience of your home or office, you are able to get your food delivered, right? Same thing with Ola. So you don't have to wait outside, especially when it is sunny or rainy. You can just sit in your comfort of your office or home, and you can book a taxi or an auto for yourself, right? And then another major problem with that is means a regular way that how you book your transport is you have to go outside, stand, and then you have to haggle with them, and then you have to. But here with Ola and Uber, things are very transparent, right? And then you just book it, and you can, in fact, you can pre-book also, like a couple of hours before. Also, you can book when you want to ride. Okay. And same thing, other facilities such as what Procto is doing. Procto, you are able to make doctor's appointment. So if you are new to any city, you are not knowing any good doctors around. So you can use the services of Procto, and you can book a doctor's appointment, right? So all these are trying to solve a general problem, and at the same time they are trying to enhance the services. Okay, so this is where your journey starts, where you are trying to identify a problem. Okay, so coming to the financial support for any startup, right? This comes at multiple stages. Okay, right when you are at a very initial stage of development or working with your idea. Okay, so some proof of concept you want to develop, right? Just to showcase that what solution you are proposing has a viable means of solving that problem. Okay, so this is one way to get started with that. And just to give you some numbers, now India is one of the largest startup ecosystem in the world. So we have got around 115 unicorns. So what is an unicorn? So unicorn is a company that has a valuation of around $1 billion. Okay. So like that, there are many different categories that are there. Like you can also have a cheetah, a gazelle, and then unicorn, right? So like these different categories are there. And right now, as I said, we have crossed about 100 unicorns that are there in India. Okay. And then overall, if you take the startup ecosystem in India, as of May 2023, India has reached around 1 lakh startups. Okay. So a startup is a company, again, that it's at a very early stage in its product development or providing services, and it is a 10-year younger. So I mean that it is not crossed its 10 years of overall existence in the market. Okay. So these are the, so I'll come back to this figure again when I've covered some basics. Okay. So just to give you a quick idea, here we are talking about two types of death valleys. Okay, which I'll discuss later as we go along in the presentation. Okay. So I'll just first cover some basics, and then we'll enter into more complex things for you to understand. So typically when you're talking about product development, right? So there are these 7 stages that are there. You have to go through. So first stage is your idea generation, right? So when you identified a problem, so you're trying to propose a solution for it. Okay. So how do you generate ideas? There are multiple ways in which you can generate the idea. So one way is brainstorming. So typically you will have your team. The team will set and propose multiple ideas, right? You weigh in those ideas, and maybe you will select those ideas to take forward. So the criteria for that is in the second step is that you try to see which ideas are feasible. Feasible means which are easy to implement. Okay. And then which also has what do you call provides major features for you to solve that problem. So those ideas will be taken forward. Okay. And then next stage, the third stage is concept development and testing. So what you do is whatever ideas you have taken now, right, that you want to pursue, you will try to develop some proof of concept around it, right? So it will be like maybe some, if you're talking about maybe some hardware that you want to develop, right? So, or in your case, because you are mostly from pharmacy background, so let's say here you want to develop some solution or some new what do you call medicine, right? that will solve that will cure some disease, right? So in that case, you will start with some basic formula. You will try to do a lot of testing around it, right? So that is the stage 3. Now, once you have identified that particular formula, right, now you want to do some business analysis, right? So in business analysis, basically what you're trying to do, you are trying to understand how many other companies are there who are trying to provide cure or medication for this particular disease or ailment. Okay. So you try to get a complete market picture of that. Okay. I'll give you some more details about how to do that step. So here you are trying to see whether to establish a business around that solution, is it a viable thing to go ahead, right? So that's the analysis that you do in the business analysis part. Our next thing is, once you have understood, yes, there is a business we can establish, because ultimately what we are trying to do is we are trying to gain some financial prospect while developing this new product. Okay, so that's when you go ahead and when you see that it's possible to do that, you go ahead and do a product development around that. Okay, and then finally the last stage or second last stage is your deployment. That's when you try to distribute that product in the entire market. Okay, and then you try to get some customer feedback around it. Okay, and then based on the customer feedback, you would either enhance the product or you would do some minor adjustment to it. You will do some branding around it. Okay, and that's when the final stage is where you are trying to do the complete commercialization of your product. Okay, so meanwhile, if you have any questions, please stop me, or you can put it in that. Madam, let me know if there are any questions. Okay. So as I already said, that idea in itself is nothing. It's just more of a suggestion or a thought, right? So whatever you do beyond that is what matters, right? So when you develop the proof of concept, when you do a prototype, or when you develop a minimum viable product around it. Okay. So these are the if you take the how much timeline it takes for you to go from a proof of concept initially to developing a complete product that is ready for commercialization. Okay, so it POC can be a very initial thought. Okay, it can be a simple model, or it can be maybe something that you have done with cardboard, or maybe some basic circuit that you have developed. Okay, and then a prototype would be with some features additional to a POC, and then minimum viable product will be something that is having some additional features where a customer can feel, touch, okay, and see how the final product will look like. And over extension of this time period, then finally you will see a complete product being developed over the time. Okay. So another thing, what students need to understand are different levels of readiness. So one is technology readiness level. Okay. Another one is manufacturability readiness level. And third one is investability readiness level. Okay. So if you are developing a technology related product, right, this concept was developed by NASA. Okay. And then as you can see here, we have 9 levels of these technology readiness levels. Okay. So going from where you're doing the initial lab level research. So if you can take example of your own pharmacy level. So you might be having some tools or simulation tools that you use in order to do some lab level research. Okay. So where you can mix up different compounds and see how that compound will work towards a particular disease or a virus, for example, right? And then you take that from TRL1 to TRL3, this is the work that you'll be doing. From TRL4 to TRL6 will be something that you can take it to a more advanced lab level testing, I would say, where you are maybe testing that on maybe an animals or maybe a small group of humans. Okay. And then next level will be where you escalate this further to further advanced level where you are doing on a major population, right? A real series of testing. So if you take any example of recent antibiotics or any antivirus that we have developed, so it also has to go through these levels of readiness levels before you can do the commercial deployment. So which is after TRL 9 and above. Okay. So another important readiness level is your manufacturing readiness level. Okay. So here, let's say if you take about if you're developing a healthcare related product. Okay. So healthcare related product, initially, whatever prototype you have developed, You might have developed that maybe using some simple what do you call cardboard, or maybe some metal sheets, right? But that cannot be taken to a market, right? So it has to, if you have some healthcare related product, so you may have to use a health grade related material, right? I can give an example about one student who was trying to develop a product for healthcare. So initially did the prototype by using 3D printing, which is plastic based material. But the plastic based material cannot be used for market, because it has to be a health grade silicon based material that can be accepted for certification. So those kind of changes you have to do, right, when you have to go for mass production. And in mass production, like earlier, he did this with 3D printing. Now, if you have to go to mass production, then you have to use some injection molding kind of equipment where molds can be developed. And in that, the parts that are required for this healthcare equipment can be manufactured. So as you can see, there are 10 levels of manufacturable readiness levels that are there, 1 to 10. So first is identifying the material, what is the technology you are going to use, because in engineering also what happens is you start that with using the what do you call electronics that are readily available in the market. But when you are going for mass production, maybe you have to develop your own electronics, right, to take it to the market. So those kind of changes you may have to do. Okay. And then finally comes your deployment. And operation is where you understand the logistics, where all the material is going to come from. Okay. And how this will see, the entire concept here again is to make sure that you are able to produce it, okay, in a lean fashion. Okay. So how you can incorporate that in your entire production facility. So all these understanding have to be developed in manufacturing readiness levels. Okay. So next important aspect is your investment readiness level. Okay. So here you are trying to take the product in one hand and the market in other hand, and you are trying to see how these two fit together and take the things forward. So one simple technique to do that is you develop one lean business model canvas. Okay. So where there are 9 important aspects that you consider, and I'll just explain briefly what that lean canvas looks like. And then you take those 9 components and try to answer them as genuinely as possible to get an overall understanding of how this business can be deployed. Okay. So next level is, that is the TRL1, IR1 level. Next IR2 level, what you're trying to do is you are trying to get a market size analysis, and that you try to do with these 3 terms, that is total addressable market, serviceable addressable market, and serviceable obtainable market, which I'll show you with an example right now. Okay. And then you're also trying to validate your problem and solutions. You're trying to see what is the market fit in this overall process. Okay. Otherwise, you will end up in a situation where market need is something else and you're producing something else. Okay. So that we have to avoid that. Okay. And that's where it takes you to the level 5 and above. Okay. So after getting further understanding of all this, what you do is you further refine your this lean canvas model. Okay. And take that from one step to the next step, and you reach IRL 9. Okay. So next I will just show you what is this lean canvas. Okay. So it's basically a pictorial view of understanding what is the product you're developing, who are the customers, how are you going to take things forward. Okay. So let me just take one column at a time. So first column is a problem. So as I said, it's very important that you invest as much time as possible in understanding the problem. So what are the problems that you're trying to solve? You just make a list of this in the first column here. Okay. And then through features, you try to list out what are the solutions you are going to provide. Okay. And then another important thing you also try to provide is, because if you have to stand distinct in the market, right, you have to have some unique features, right? Unique features means some innovation, right, which nobody is able to provide, or any particular aspect that nobody is covering in their existing market product. So what you are going to do additionally, that you list it out, is your unique selling point or unique value proposition. Okay, so that is a clear statement that tells that how you are different from the existing products that are there in the market, why they should buy your product. So that you have to list it out here in this unique value proposition. Okay, next is you have to also give the edge that you have in the existing competition. Okay, so what is the unfair advantage you have? So where any new person or any new company that wants to start will not do so easily with what solution you are providing. So the one way to put it is like if you have some patent, like if you are developing some medication, right? And if you have a patent for that medication, obviously nobody else can copy it because you are the first one to do that, right? So similarly, you have to explain what this advantage that you have over others. Okay, so where you have a patent. Okay, next is is the customer segment. So whom are you going to target here, right? So if let's say you are developing any medication or healthcare related product, and that product is for senior citizens or for young children's, right? So you can mention who are your target customers here. Because if it is for children's, usually let's say medication, you may have to maybe sugarcoat it, or if it has to be in a syrup form mostly, isn't it, right? So that changes you may have to bring into your product. But if it is for a senior or adults, if you're coming up with some medication, then obviously it can be in a pill form. Okay, and what is the dosage part, how many milligrams or all that you can mention in that. Okay, next is what are the channels you are adopting to reach to your customers. It could be through advertisements, right? Or it could be through major pharmacies that you tie up with. Okay, or nowadays you also have online channels where you are able to sell your medications. There are also many generic stores, right, that are available. Your medical halls are there. So that will be the channels that you reach to your customers. Okay. So last two are that is related to your costing part and revenue part. Okay. So costing is basically how much you are investing, okay, in order to develop that particular product. Okay. So you have to list out everything right from the raw materials that you are using to the overheads, like if you have a space or equipments that you are using, even electricity bill, right? Any people you are employing to manufacture this. So everything should be included in this cost structure. Okay. Revenue would be what is your business model. You can just specify here whether, as I said, you can be a business to business kind of thing, right? Or what is your overall maybe if you're, as I said, if it is through online selling, right? So what would be the margin that you have to give out there? So all these things you have to list it out in this particular column here. Okay. So now after going through all these different columns, you will get a very good fair idea about what is the problem I'm going to solve and what is the profit I'm going to make, right? And then as you go through this investability readiness level, right? So where that means you are getting yourself ready, where someone else is going to invest in your business. So this entire understanding of your own business, this will be very, very helpful. Any questions at this point? Because this is something very basic that I'm covering where everybody should understand.
Sir,
Okay.
sir, may
Yeah,
I know how can I analyze my market size for my product?
exactly. Okay, very good. I'll just cover the next slide. Maybe that will answer you. Okay. Okay. So here, what I was talking about, how to get the overall picture of your market. Okay. So what you do is you try to get the values for these three different metrics. Okay. TAM, SAM, and SOM. So TAM stands for total addressable market. So that gives you take into in percentage basis if you want what is the overall addressable market that I want. Okay. So like for example, if you take I'll take a simple example of let's say uh, kids who are eating candy. Okay, maybe chocolates for example. Okay, so total addressable market will be, let's say I'm very ambitious and whatever I'm candy I'm developing or chocolate I'm developing, this is for worldwide. Okay, so worldwide, what is the market of chocolate, kids that are eating chocolate? Okay, so that amount I will get it in maybe billions of dollars. Okay, so total market for me is in that billions of dollars in the entire world. Okay, so tomorrow if I start a company that manufactures chocolate, right? So my target would be to get to this level. Okay, next is okay, serviceable available market. Okay, so in that, let's say, okay, chocolate is a major market because in chocolate many things will come. You have like uh, chocolates that are like in the form of candies, like maybe what do you call, what do you have, dairy milk, right? So dairy milk can be one form of selling the chocolate. Another form of selling the chocolate would be in the form of like maybe gems, right? Circular, small shaped. Another form would be, let's say, maybe in the form of lollipop. Okay. Another form could be in the form of maybe eclairs kind of chocolate, right? So there are different forms here. So within that, which particular segment I'm targeting? Okay. So maybe if I'm targeting, let's say, in that dairy milk kind of bars, chocolate bars, I'm targeting out of the entire spectrum of chocolate manufacturing. So what is that market where many companies are manufacturing similar chocolate bars? So chocolate bars again are manufactured by Cadbury's, Hershey's, right? So many of these companies that are manufacturing their chocolate bar, right? So what is their market percentage worldwide or maybe in India? I'll try to get that number. Okay. So for example, initially overall worldwide, maybe just I'm just saying some numbers, maybe $100 billion. Okay. And when it comes to serviceable available market, means market which I can, based on my product, I can target out of that $100 billion would be maybe $50 billion. So $50 billion is the market that can where I can where my product can reach. Okay. So next is last one is serviceable optimal market. So out of that $50 billion, what percentage of market I can really reach? So let's say you start your product manufacturing in AP, right? So from AP, if I have to reach out, it will be very difficult for me to capture initially the entire $50 billion market. So maybe I'll start with the region and then maybe pan India, right? So that market could be maybe $5 billion. So now my actual market that I have to focus on would be $5 billion. So now I have gone from $100 billion market overall worldwide to the actual market which I can obtain. Okay, from starting from AP. So that will be $5 billion. Let's say, for example. Okay. So now if I have to take an example, so there is one example. Okay, this is for Levi's jeans. Okay, so they have conducted their analysis for TAM, SAM, and SOM. So worldwide, they are saying that overall apparel means clothing market is $1.5 trillion. Okay, and global within that overall apparel market, right? The denim wear, okay, like jeans cloth wear market is $64 billion, $64.5 billion. And how much market they can actually get, okay, or because it's a premium band and their costing will be very high, so the market that they can target or achieve is $6.24 billion. Okay, so there is some analysis that needs to be done for you to understand, right, where market survey, once you do, you'll understand what is the actual overall market, then within that what segment you are targeting and how you are able to get your share of that market. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you, sir.
Your name?
I'm Sri Manikanta Sai Agurati. Sri Manikanta Sai, sir.
Sri Manikanta. Okay, very good, Sri Manikanta. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Okay, this will come later. Um, Okay. So here I'll try to address one important aspect, okay, which is with regard to the value of death, okay. So initially, when you are starting any product manufacturing, right, you start that product or POC or what you call initial development through bootstrapping. So what is bootstrapping? So bootstrapping is where you are trying to use your own funds, okay, to develop the product, okay. And then where it could be maybe also family may also be involved where they are investing in your idea, okay, So that's how you start. But over the time, what will happen is there could be two valleys of death that you will see that you have to overcome. So valley of death is basically tells you that you are facing some challenges or hurdles, okay, which may stop your progress. Okay. So one value of death is with regard to technology. So what I mean by that is, let's say again, I take the example of developing maybe some antibiotic or antivirus, right? So you already got yourself invested into that. You are doing some lot of compound level, what do you call, uh, testing, and then somewhere you are not able to meet where a viable solution is developed to actually kill that particular virus. Okay, so you try it out, but things are failing on you. Okay, so that would be a product development level challenge that you are facing. Okay, same thing with any technology, like maybe a software level or hardware level product you're developing, and you want to have some features into that particular product. But what happens is there are a lot of challenges. Let's say, for example, if you take the current automobile industry, right? So, what is the major challenge we are facing in the automobile industry? You can see that if you want to book any vehicle now, right, you have to wait for at least 6 months to 1 year is the waiting time. Why is that? The reason for that is because of chip manufacturing is not happening in India, right? So, especially after COVID, many companies have stopped their manufacturing of chips, and that chips, because now every car has a lot of automation, right? A lot of sensors are there, and all these sensors are controlled by chips, computers. So those are not available in the market. So what is happening? This is delaying the overall manufacturing of the car. So that's why when you are booking a car, you see that there is a 6 months or 1 year delay minimum. Okay, so that is the again a technological related bottleneck where you are not able to develop the product because it is dependent on something else. And if you have investors already, either you are investing or somebody else is investing on you, right? And they want to see that you are developing this as a very faster rate. Okay, so typically you should remember that if somebody else is investing, okay, any Indian investing or any venture capitalist is investing on you, usually they expect that you develop some profitability within the 12 months or 18 months. Okay, so that is the maximum time you will get nowadays, and the return that they will expect is maybe 5x or 10x minimum. Okay, so what it means is that if they're investing, let's say 1 crore in your project, so they will expect after maybe 1 year or after 2 years that you will return them back maybe 5 crores or more than that. Okay, so that is the level of returns on investment that they are expecting. So that is one challenge, that is technology related, the value death. Okay. Next is the value of death would be commercialization part. So commercialization part is what I was talking to you earlier, is when you are uh, not understanding your competition properly, when you are not done your market survey properly, and what is also referred as is called as product market fit. Okay, so this commercialization value of death is also referred as product market fit. Okay, so where the product that you're developing is not getting any traction in the market. Okay, so this is the time if you are facing going through this challenge. Okay, so capital can help you in pivoting and maybe considered. So what it means is that any if you are going under through this valley of death and you are not able to figure out a solution, maybe you can do some pivoting, means you can maybe try some alternate solution which fits where your product fits to the demands of the customer or demands of the market. So some changes you may have to bring in. Okay, so that is what is called as pivoting. Okay, and next is there are some checklists that you have to go through. Okay, so the checklist is one is for technical value of death. First, you have to make sure, yeah, that your MVP, minimum viable product, is ready. Okay, and then you also need to make sure that with this MVP, right, you are able to generate a full-fledged commercial product and you are able to have some revenue generation. Okay, and then you are also able to add new markets or new what do you call further scale up can also be done. So these are some of the things that you have to keep it in your mind. Okay. So that is the value of death, what I'm highlighting here. So this is just about our incubation center, what I was telling. Actually, I made this presentation for our students about what is the facilities that we have. So it's an overall 12,500 square feet of area that we have in our campus. At present, we have around 4 registered companies and 26 incubatees who are ready to go for company filing by the end of this year. Okay, we have got expert teams and mentors who will help students in taking their ideas and developing a product. And we also help students with some initial seed money so that they can get their initial product developed. Okay, so these are some of the ecosystem partners that we are associated with. Okay, so we are working very closely with AP Innovation Society. We also have some training programs going on right now in entrepreneurship, design thinking, and this is tailored and designed with the help of Wadhwani Foundation. This is again international level foundation which started in New York, and we are taking help from them. We are also a recognized host institute by Ministry of MSME, right? So where any schemes that are introduced by MSME, we are running those schemes. And one more help that we provide our student and faculties is that we are any patent that is filed, right? The entire cost of filing the patent is taken care by the university. Okay. So now, as I was saying, you have to have some external help to take your product development, okay, to the next level. So these are some of the investors, angel investors that are there in India. This is a bit old data. So as you can see, each one of them, how many companies they are supporting, startups they are supporting. So like Kunal Shah is one of the reputed name in the industry in angel investors, and he's supporting like around 178 companies. Okay, so Kunal Bhal is another one. Rohit Bansal, you are very familiar with him, right, from Snapdeal. So he is one of them. He is supporting another 100 plus companies. Okay, so like this, these are various angel investors who are investing in other startups. Okay, so another important scheme or different funding agencies that are available for especially for women entrepreneurs. Okay, so this is right from if you want to have some food based what you call startup. So Arnapurna scheme is available where a small funding of around 15,000 is provided, right? Then Mudra Yojana scheme is also available where around 10 lakh rupees is provided to women entrepreneurs. Okay, Sri Shakti is also there where 5 lakhs are provided. Udyogini scheme is there, 1 lakh is provided. And recently, what I'm showing at the bottom is we also ran this scheme of Women Hackathon 3.0 from MSME, where funding of for innovative idea around 15 lakhs is provided by Ministry of MSME. Okay, so these are the different funding schemes that are available. Dena Shakti scheme from Dena Bank is available for 20 lakhs. Okay, where they are primarily focused on agriculture, manufacturing, and different sectors. Okay, funding is provided. Okay, so again, these are different government schemes that are running. I'll just show you a website if I can share my entire screen. Hold on. Okay, my screen is visible, madam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I would just like to show you one website. Okay, so this is startupindia.gov.in. Okay, so as I'm showing you this, okay, so these lists primarily all the initiatives that are there from the different departments and central ministries. Okay, so what are the government schemes that are available for startups? Okay, so if you can please make a note of this, this is startupindia.gov.in. Okay, so if I browse through it, okay, so you can see on the left hand side what are the different ministries that are listed here. So let me start with Ministry of Science and Technology scheme. So if I press there, So you see the list is entirely coming down, right? So they have schemes in high risk, high reward, promotion of innovation. So this is from Prism is from DSIR, which is running for entire year. Okay, and then students should take advantage of this, where funding from 2 lakhs to any bigger amount is provided. Next is New Generation Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Center. So this is another funding scheme that is available. Sorry. Uh, Next is extramural research funding is also available. Another popular scheme that is available for startups is technology development program. And many defense companies like DRDO, Naval Labs, everybody are promoting these schemes where any innovative idea, especially in defense sector or in telecommunication sector, if it is there, then you can take advantage of this. Okay, next one may be of interest to you, drugs and pharmaceutical research, right? So this is another funding scheme that is available. So you can click here and get the details. Let me see if it's opening. Yeah, here. So drugs and pharmaceutical research. So if anybody from your institute wants to do some research, okay, and want some funding for it, so this is where you can get some additional information, okay. Like this, if in biotechnology entrepreneurship partnership, if you want to do, this is through BIRAC, which is again an agency from DST, Department of Science and Technology. You can also get some funding information here. So now what we have on the right-hand side is the related links from different schemes. Like DST, what are the schemes? Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, what are the different schemes? So if I click on DST, okay, so I'm taken to the, so this takes me to the DST schemes, okay, that are available. So you can see science and technology for women, tribal, okay, so SC/ST kind of schemes, what are available. So it takes me to that, okay. Similarly, if I want to go to Mighty, so this is Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So you can see different schemes that are launched under Mighty. So right now there is one healthcare related innovation challenge that is going on. Okay. So if anybody is interested, you can apply for that and get some grants. Okay. So please consider that. So like this, many schemes are promoted by government. Okay. To encourage entrepreneurship and product development. Okay. And my suggestion would be, see if you can also collaborate, okay, so that you improve your chances. So many times these schemes expect the institute to have some minimum facilities, but if those facilities are not available with you, maybe you can try out or reach out to some institutes that have those facilities. You have your own engineering college for that matter. So through them also you can see if you can apply and get some help. Okay. Let me go back to the presentation here. Any questions up to this point?
No, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
okay. So anyway, I will share this PPT, okay, to madam so that you can. You're already recording the session.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so no problem. Then you already have that. Okay. So these are the different schemes which I was telling you, right? Okay. So MSME schemes that are available, right? Shishu schemes are available for early stage startups, okay, where around 50,000 rupees is provided. Kishore, which is at a slightly, what do you call, product development level where they have initial traction. So that gives fundings from 50,000 to 5 lakh rupees. And some startups that are at having a higher growth levels, okay, a funding of 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs is provided, okay, through Ministry of MSME. Next is there are many other DST schemes that are there. Nidhi Prayas, okay. So Nidhi Prayas is a scheme where this is allocated through Nidhi centers. So VIT, our parent company VIT Vellore, is a recognized Nidhi Prayas center. Through them, funding of around 10 lakh rupees is provided to startups. Okay. So this is Nidhi Prayas. Nidhi Entrepreneur in Residence. So this is around when somebody, let's say they are not when they want to focus on their product development or entrepreneurship. So around 30,000 per month is given under this scheme for you to take up your entrepreneurship journey. So similarly, Niti ITBI is also there, where technology business incubation is supported through Nidhi program, where again this supports your product development. Okay. So Nidhi Prayas, uh, Nidhi Entrepreneur in Residence program, where 30,000 is provided. Nidhi SSP seed support grant, so where around 10 to 25 lakhs is provided, and this is on equity based. Equity based means that, let's say, if you are having 100% control of your company, then to provide this money, they may take maybe anywhere from 1% to 10% of your company stake. Okay, so you have to provide that funding. Okay, so here in ITBI, funding of around 2 lakhs to 10 lakhs is provided. Okay. So next is BIRAC related. I already mentioned that from DST. This is another agency. So the BIRAC big grant is available. Sitare program is also available. EUA programs are also available. Right now there is one scheme that is running under DST, which is TIDE, which is developing technology for elderly people. Okay. So see if any of you are interested, you can apply for that. Okay. Social innovation programs are also supported through SPARSH. Okay. So this is just okay. So this is again some information related to our incubation center, where what kind of services we are providing. As I already mentioned, right from IP management to giving finances, to giving space for product development, marketing, legal counseling, all these features or services there. Some of the events that we have conducted for our students. The purpose of this presentation was something else earlier. So this was one business competition that we conducted for. This was a national level, in fact. So we had invited the ideas from entire nation, and I'm glad to say that we got close to around 400 ideas from entire nation, and then we supported or gave funding of around 15,000. So very small amount we gave to almost I would say 10 of the applicants or winners in this competition. Idea pitching competition that we have conducted at our campus. Okay, so we have a maker space that was recently inaugurated. So we have a 3D printing facilities where students can come and develop their prototypes. And so these are some of the products that we displayed during the inauguration. VITAP is also a recognized institute by DSIR as a CIRO, so which stands for Scientific Industry Research Organization. So through that, a lot of schemes, promotions we can promote through DSIR. I already mentioned about that recognized course institute by Ministry of MSME. And recently we conducted this Women Idea Hackathon 3.0. So this is the list of our incubatees and startups that are there in our campus. Okay. So this is another one international competition where we participated, and some other outreach programs and national level competitions where we have participated. So AP Hackathon, our winners from 2022 and 23. Okay. That basically ends my presentation. Okay. So if you have any questions, I reserve the last 5 to 10 minutes for any discussion from your side.
Excuse me, sir.
Just a minute, okay? Yeah, please tell me.
Sir, by the TVA Foundation, the patent rights will. Sir, the patent rights will any charges for the patent rights? Is there any charges for patent rights?
See, there are two fees that are involved here. So one is the government fees. So in fact, the government fees now is reduced by 80%. Okay. And another fees that is involved is, so that is mostly towards application filing. Okay. Another fees that is involved is from the attorney side. So who will be filing your application. So the attorney fees is usually where the services they provide is for seeing if there is any similar prior work is available or to do that checking. Drafting is another fees that is involved, service that is involved. So to cater for all that, typically they charge somewhere around 50 to 60,000 rupees. Okay, this is in addition to the government fees. In our case, for our university, the entire cost is borne by the university management. Okay. So regularly, if you have a good attorney who charges less, so they may file the entire utility. There are two types of patents: utility and design. So utility filing may cost you somewhere around minimum to minimum would be around 30 to 35,000. And design patent is mostly towards industrial designs, and so where the cost for filing would be somewhere around 10 to 12,000 rupees. Sorry, I'm down with cold, so yeah.
Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful session explaining about the concept of technology readiness level, manufacturing readiness level, investment readiness level, and all basic idea of funding opportunities for all types of entrepreneurships and government schemes, and also explaining about the market research, and also introducing some of the angel investors and some of the websites which are useful for the students. And explained very well in a very short time, sir. And thank you very much because many of the students are unaware of all these governance schemes. And you have given an overall idea, overall concept about the entrepreneurship and startup. Thank you very much, sir. And hope your support continues to us in the future also. And
Sure, madam. Sure, absolutely. So please note down this website, startupindia.gov.in. So please make sure that your students go through this. And Ministry of Electronics and IT, there is where a lot of competitions. I was just mentioning that healthcare related one competition is there. So maybe your students can participate there. And if they want to collaborate or do some activity, our invitation is always open. They can come to our campus, have a visit, look around what facilities we have. Okay. So that can also be arranged.
Sir, is there any funding opportunity, especially for pharma students, pharma startups?
Pharma startups, I was just mentioning, right? There was one drug-related.
Drug and pharmaceuticals.
Yes. I was mentioning that, right? So I just showed you. So go here. Where is that? So through BIRAC also a lot of fundings are available. Let me just see. I just saw that. I think I showed you also, right?
Yes, sir. You sure. So we'll be having a.
So this is the one, drug and pharmaceutical research, right? So if somebody is interested in doing that, maybe they can go through this link and check it out. What is the funding available? Okay.
Okay, sir. And thank you for introducing your incubation center also, sir. You being an inspiration for us now. Thank you very much, sir.
Sure, madam. Sure. And I'm very glad you are taking this initiative. I'm very happy that you are promoting this within your students. Any help from our side, please free to contact us. We'll always be there to help you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for extending your support and being sick, feeling sick. And also, in spite of your busy schedule, you have accepted my invitation, sir. Thank you very much for spending your valuable time with us.
Welcome, madam. Because we already postponed a couple of times, I didn't want to miss this session.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
I end up the session now, sir.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, sir.